Howdy folks, my name's Darren from RC Scale Models, and today we're back with you with another kit review. We're going to take a look at this HobbyBoss's F4F3S Wildcatfish. You're wondering why it's a catfish name and it's not a wild cat or any of the others, because exactly what you see on this is it is a prototype aircraft. They decided to take one of the F4Fs and decided to put floats on it. It didn't work very well, so they didn't proceed of making more of them. So the aircraft you see here is 4038, was taken from the production line, put floats on, did the sea trials, worked out it wasn't very good because the aircraft was slow already. So this is basically what you get in this box. It's something different. I do like float planes in general. I do like the cats. I want to build as many of the Grumman cats as possible. I've built several Grumman cats so far. I've got the Tomcat to do. I'm looking to get the Grumman Panther. I need to find one of those. I know Trumpet to do one, but it's a little bit iffy. Kitty Hawk do one, but it's trying to find it because Kitty Hawk is obviously not around anymore. So it's trying to find those. So let's take a look what we get inside this box anyway. So we have this side of the box. There's one of the schemes, even though they give you two schemes, but technically this is the real one. The other one is kind of made up. A little bit of information on the kit. If you're looking to see when it was made, it's 2004, but it's obviously based on an earlier kit. Kit number 81729. That is the other scheme, which is basically the same colours, but it's kind of made up, that one. There are a couple of images in the archives that I have. I can show you those right now. So as always, we will look at the paperwork and instructions. Typical HobbyBosses black and white sheet. All the ledges are down the bottom and stuff to pay attention to. From here. So obviously we've got your sprue callouts, pretty standard. And then the first step, let's zoom in a bit. So step one is working on the cockpit. We have the floor, the bulkhead, the seat, etc. And then we have the side consoles and stuff. It does require decals to detail it up a bit, but I'm going to change that up slightly because it is a standard F4F3 cockpit and none of the internals changed at all according to the information I found. I'm going to use a Quinta Studio set, so basically it's just a standard F43 late interior detail set, so nothing changes. So we're going to use this. Once the cockpit's built, you can drop it in from underneath, and obviously these two halves have got to be put together as well, and then the lower plate can go in. You see the wheel covers are covered up because obviously that's where the main landing gear will go, because this is a seaplane. It had slight modifications. Step 3 is engine detail, pretty standard, goes on the front and the exhaust tips. Step 4 is your rudder and tail planes, and then because it is a seaplane, it had extra sea trials and needed more stability because of the drag from the floats. It added these weird fins. Here it's calling out for the canopy to go on, and gun sight, which I don't think it had weapons, I'm not sure. There isn't a ton of steps, there's only a few. Main wings go together, two halves, pretty standard. You get attached to the fuselage halves. And then it's the float assembly, which you have to do twice, left and right. Shouldn't be too difficult. The floats come as two halves, and then you've got your extra pieces. If you want it with wheels on or wheels off, it's your call. And then you've got the support struts attaching the left float Obviously the right float will be exactly the same. And touching the propeller, and it's ready for paint. Now also don't forget to add this spine here, which is called out in this step here, sorry, which is another stabilizer spine. And that's pretty much it for instructions. As I say, colour call outs for the real aircraft is this one here. So we have the standard light blue over the Grumman greyish colour. They're calling out for blue grey and light gold grey, but that's actually incorrect. It is the colours that I show on this picture of some of the Grummans that I've already built. So we'll be doing it in those blue colours. That was AK paint that I used. And obviously we've got the white tail, pretty standard. The other scheme is exactly the same, but I say this is slightly made up because there's only one aircraft and it's the same colours, but just the markings are slightly different. HobbyBoss do their decals, which are in here. Shouldn't be too bad. So here's the HobbyBoss markings. They do have this weird kind of texture over the decal. Hopefully there's no issue with these, otherwise I'm going to have to source aftermarket decals. Shouldn't be too difficult because they're just basically the circle with the star. So it's some of the early schemes, insignia markings. The 4038 might be tricky, but I'm just hoping these do work. The red stripe is around the floats. We can probably paint that on. Instrument panel, I'll say, is replaced with Quinta. So first set of sprues we'll take a look at. So we have the fuselage halves, propeller, the underside, the one of the tail planes. I'm missing a tail. It must be on the bag still. There it is. It's fallen off the sprue. Lucky enough, it hasn't done too much damage. So that's okay. So detail wise, here's the prop is nicely detailed. And then fuselage halves. It has, come on, focus. It does have nice detail with it and panel lines. It's not overly done. Shouldn't be too difficult. It is all recessed and stuff. There is no raised. Not like the Academy kit and Tamiya version. They have raised detail, which is more accurate. But this is recessed, so it's just as good. The other half is pretty much the same. Yeah, this is raised, this front part, slightly. But it looks pretty good. There's that weird fin that goes underneath. There's your rudder. There's the other tail. There's one of those fins. And the other fin. A couple of scoops. These are your exhaust tips. They're not overly great. A couple of aerials. Next bag we have here is the floats. No parts have fallen off this one, hopefully. So we have the main floats here, the struts, your little wheels and your little supports. That's if the aircraft is on hard surface, not in the water. I'll probably do mine like that so I can display it in the cabinet. So the floats are two-piece, so you will have to put them together. The actual struts themselves are one piece, so you just have to clean up the edge probably of a seam line maybe. These are obviously two-piece wheels, which I'm never a fan of. Normally I'll buy replacement resin, but because there is none for this, I'm just going to have to deal with these wheels. It's not an issue. The floats are pretty well detailed as well. There isn't a ton of rivet on the floats, but you do have a couple of panel lines. Shouldn't be too difficult to put together. And then here's your really thick struts. They shouldn't be too difficult neither. There's those small wheels for when it's on the land. Those smaller struts. And that's pretty much it. There isn't a ton of stuff on this one. It's just the main floats really. So this one here. So this one is wings, small sprue. It's small sprue C, lower and upper wing detail. There is no guns, like I say, because it is a float plane. It is just sea trials. But again, the detail, we have rivets and panel lines where it should be. It looks pretty good to me. It is all recessed. These parts here are raised. The upper wings, we have some raised surfaces here and here, but the rest of it's all smooth. That looks pretty damn good to me. It's going to take a nice wash. So yeah, that's nicely done. This bag's already open because I had a sneak peek when I got this kit just for one of the sections. We have this nice foam that Trumpeter and HobbyBoss like to do, just for fragile parts. So I can't remember what was actually underneath here. Oh, that was for the landing gear. If you're doing the normal F4.3 or F4.2 and F4.4, I think it is, you need the landing gear. This one here. What's this protecting? So again, this is protecting more fragile landing gear parts. But as I say, we're not needing that. We're not needing the guns. We will need this for the instrument panel. Fuel tanks and stuff, we need some of that. All of this is cockpit detail. Radiators, I think this is. We may need that, I'm not 100% sure. Cockpit floor we need. Fuel tanks we won't. These wings we don't because they're standard wings. Engine detail we will. Main wheels not needed. Bulkhead not needed. Engine front and rear we need. So we only need half of this sprue basically. So you can see it's taken from a standard F4F. So again, if you are doing that type of kit, it's not too bad. Engine detail is okay. You're going to see a ton of it anyway inside this cowling. But once it's all built, weathered, washed and stuff like that, I think it looked pretty cool. Yeah. I do like Trumpeter kits most of the time and HobbyBosses and stuff like that. Especially for subjects, because they generally do subjects that other manufacturers don't like to address. So I always check them out first to see if they have it. Yes, the accuracy issue is not always 100%, but at the end of the day, if you're looking for that subject, 9 out of 10 they have it, and that is all you get really. This one here is the cowling, one piece, slide molded probably, back in the day, early smart slide molding maybe. But we do have all these flaps on the open position. I do like that touch actually. So that's going to hopefully be nice. And last two little bags are two clear ones. So this is probably going to be, are the front canopies different or the same? No, this is the sliding part of canopy. That's not too bad. Couple of windows which go underneath. Again, because it's got floats, I'm not sure if those windows are needed. I can't remember instructions. I can't remember seeing them. If they are, maybe or maybe not. A couple of lights. Again, I'm not sure if they're needed. As for how clear this canopy is, it looks pretty good to me. It's going to be a little bit of distortion because it is a curve, but I think once you detail it up and stuff, I think that'd be more sufficient. I'm hoping this canopy will fit. It doesn't state that in instructions to have it open. I'm hoping it does fit. And this little bag here, I believe, is the front windshield canopy. So yeah, this is the front shield canopy. So yeah, shouldn't be too difficult. So there you are, my friends. There is another kit from HobbyBoss, 1/48 scale, F4F 3S Wildcatfish. Should be a nice little simple build. I haven't built a kit in a couple of months now. I just haven't been in the mood. I've been busy at work and stuff, so hopefully this will get me back into it. I am on holiday this week, so I can crack on and do some stuff. So yeah, shouldn't be too difficult. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.